Mike, on the play where Zach Wilson got hurt
Recording
was,
in progress.
Ryan Griffin was blocking Matthew Judon. Was that supposed to be a one-on-one block, or was that supposed to be like a double team? Because it doesn't seem like a great idea to leave Ryan Griffin one-on-one with a pass rusher that has six and a half sacks in 6 games.
Yeah, no, that was a one-on-one block. We had Jameson coming across just kind of as presence, with the slide and the deception. There's no doubt. I mean, you always get you never want to put your tight ends in situations where they have to block a guy like Judon. It was a run situation. It was 1st and 10 off a turbo. They're not hard rushers on first and second down. A lot of times they even drop. So you kind of play those odds a little bit too to try to push the ball down the field a little bit. And then at the same time, the quarterback knows, his issues when you are in those protections. The tight end's not going to hold up all day, and we got to work to get that ball out of his hands.
Mike, what kind of a setback is this potentially for Zach? I mean, this season was so much about him and his development. And if he's gone a couple, 3-4 weeks, whatever it is, can you speak to how much of a setback that is for him?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, there's nothing like playing, right? I mean, that's where you gain the most experience, whether it be going back to OTAs, training camp, preseason practice, and then obviously the regular season games. There's nothing like it. That's where you do learn the most because it's the bullets are live. However, I do, from a positive side, I do think to spin it these next however many weeks that he's out to be able to kind of sit back, go back, regroup, look at the last 6 games. What did you do well? Where do we need to continue to progress at, both as an offense and as an individual, as a quarterback? So sometimes there is something strong in being able to sit back, not have, honestly, the kind of the weight of the world on your shoulders. We try to tell them that all the time. You do not have to go out there and win us football games. You have to go play quarterback. But ultimately, he is the quarterback of the New York Jets, and he feels that. And for him to just be able to, again, just to kind of let it be for the next however many weeks and learn and grow and watch someone else do it, watch around the league, and obviously battle to get back as soon as possible.
Mike, we talked so much about the start of the game and what you guys are doing the bye week. How did you feel overall about how you guys started the game yesterday?
Not good. I mean, the first 3 and outs, never good, particularly when they went all the way down the field and they scored, and you want to bounce back. And, again, it's well documented, and, we talk about it too. We're not going to hide behind anything. We've talked about it as offense where, but you can't press to try to do anything. You just got to go out and do your job. And we didn't get that done. We didn't get that done as coaches. Again, I go back to, I said it a few weeks ago to you guys, and I truly, truly mean it. When we're not executing, that is on coaching. And we had on the second play, we had a run ID miscommunication, and there was a free runner that shouldn't have been. And then obviously on the third down where Zach took the sack, there was a free runner that shouldn't have been. He was not hot there. And again, I put that on coaching on how to figure out to make it easier for our guys.
Second drive. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Mike. You were done.
Hey, Mike. First of all, why are you doing this today?
I was told to do this today.
Mike, the first 2 plays that you started with, you go run for very little gain, then second down, run for very little gain to set up the pass, which obviously didn't work, and the punt on the first series. What was the thought process before you guys had kind of the 2 weeks to prepare and then just go run?
Yeah, just honestly to kind of ease our quarterback into a game. Hand the ball off a few times, try to attack what we felt were going to be good runs against their defense. When you look at it, the first run they had a good blitz in there with a cross dog, not great versus inside zone. So they got us there. We did get picked off a little bit. I thought Mike MC did a great job of at least getting it to 2nd and 9. And then again on the second one, I know all our guys will say the same thing that in our theory should have been a big one. We had everyone blocked. We had the angles that we absolutely wanted. We think we had them on that one, and we didn't get it done. And again, I put that back on us to, how are we not getting this done early in games? And it's amazing. You look at even our second drive and those first 3 plays, Zach and Ty made a heck of a play on 3rd and 10 to get us going. And after that, we settled in. We had some technique, issues, which you're always going to have. I mean, we got to execute our techniques, and they're trying to execute their techniques. But from a mental standpoint, we nailed it the rest of the drive. they got us on a few, just like I said, technique stuff, but it just was getting over that hump of getting that first down. And then we drove all the way down. Obviously, unfortunately didn't finish it.
Mike, if there are mistakes that early in the game, like for instance, the sack on third down with the free runner on that play, and you said that was a coaching thing. Is there to have something have a basic breakdown that early in the game? Is there something? There must be a disconnect somewhere where your messaging is not getting through. I mean, have you looked internally about that on that?
I always look internally. I've stated that, numerous times to you guys. I'm always looking internally, and I'm challenging our position coaches to do the same. Like what is not getting across? How is this look that's getting executed in practice not getting it done on Sunday? So again, we got to keep on looking internal right there. It was I wouldn't consider it the toughest look, but again, our guys weren't on it, and I will forever and always put that on us as coaches.
Hey, Mike, when you got a question last week about Elijah, kind of comparing him to Debo, and you mentioned his size. And I was curious, I think it was the second drive yesterday. It was like a screen pass to Jamison, I believe. I haven't been able to watch the film yet. And it looked like Elijah was the main blocker on the screen. Am I right on that? And
yeah. Yep.
What's the theory behind that? Because I thought your answer last week made sense about his size and not being able to use him kind of on jet sweeps and stuff. But how is it good to have him as like a lead blocker on a screen?
Yeah, certainly you want bigger guys on those. We had just gotten a first down. We went straight into turbo. It was a run pass option. There was a cloud out there. We didn't, anticipate putting Elijah in that situation, albeit I do think, if he had that one back, he could have got out there a little bit more on that corner. But again, yeah, you definitely don't want to put guys when there's going to be a serious disadvantage, particularly when they're going to be on some walk linebackers and stuff. Those are ones that, Elijah or any of our receivers, whether it be in San Francisco or not, we put them in those positions if we felt like they could do it. And we didn't have a problem with that one.
Mike, I don't want to come off in the wrong way and asking it this way, but like you watch some other offenses around the NFL, you watch some of the explosives that they're able to piece together. I mean, there's times even with the offenses that maybe aren't having the week by week successes like you sometimes see the Chiefs of yesteryear or the Ravens or what the Bengals are doing, and things for the offense just look easy. And for you guys, it like watching from afar, it seems like everything is a challenge. And even when you guys do get some big plays, it was Zach running around and broken plays and then throwing it down, you get a penalty or something like that. I mean, why hasn't it been easy yet for you guys? Why hasn't things just haven't really clicked for you throughout a game?
Yeah, no, it's a fair question, and I don't want to make any excuses for anybody. First of all, I think a lot of times those easy plays come once you get some drives going, once you get the defense on their heels a little bit, that's when those big plays do come. I know in Tennessee, yeah, Zach made some off schedule plays, but we also kind of had them on their heels in terms of like the one that the fumbled snap that he hit Jamison. He was going to Jamison the whole way. The only reason he missed or he fumbled the snap, he was so excited about getting the ball to Jamison, he forgot to take the snap. And they were so loose at that point that he already knew. He's like, man, this is what it feels like. It's like, exactly. Once you get some drives going, once you loosen some people up, that's my job to figure out how, why we're not getting those drives going early. Why are we not getting the run game going early? Why are we not executing at the way that we know we're capable of, So that's my answer to that, and again, I go back to just my last stop in 2017. It was kind of the same way early on. Outside of one game in the first 9, we averaged 13 points. In 8 of those 9 games, we had one game where we blew up versus the Rams on Thursday Night Football. But other than that, it was a struggle initially. It was a struggle for, kind of all our guys just learning the system and obviously just executing at the way that we know we're capable of.
Mike, I know you want to run the ball to set up the pass and play off, play action, things of that nature. How come there hasn't been like a reverse idea where you can pass to set up the run, and then if you want to go run through the game, just start the game up, change it up a little bit, because it seems like it's just like a little bit of it being a little bit predictable at times, where like it's kind of obvious at times you're gonna run to start the game and maybe run on second down. Why not flip it and try to pass to set up the run?
Yeah, I mean, no, there's no doubt. Tennessee, we started out with the 2 runs, went to third down. I want to say Atlanta, we went run, then pass, obviously, and he went off schedule on that second down. And then obviously yesterday we went the 2 runs. Denver, we went pass to start off. He got a first down. And then on the second play, we went RPO. They gave us a 2-shell, or they rotated it on late. Looked like what was going to be a 2-shell, so he handed it off. So, that always goes into play. I always try to, take into consideration, just kind of what the defense presenting, and also putting Zach in a situation as a rookie quarterback, just getting comfortable right away.
Mike, what is your level? I mean, what's your level of confidence with White? I know he kind of came in, and represented himself well yesterday, but now that he has to settle in for a period of time as the starter, how does that change the dynamic and in terms of what you expect out of his performance?
Yeah, no, that's a good question, Mark. He, I expect him to be the same. That's that's kind of our message to him. You go about your process just like you always have. The only thing different now is obviously you're named the starter going into it, and you're going to take all those first team reps that you get none of during the week, particularly when you have a rookie quarterback. Sometimes when you have a vet, you could supplement the backup in just to get in the huddle and go through the cadence with Zach. We're not going to do that right now. He needs to take every rep and be in every single one of making the call and going through the process. So have all the confidence in the world of Mike. I thought he did a really good job, for the quarter and a half, the second quarter leading into the third quarter of operating our offense. Obviously the fourth quarter just kind of got away from us. But you could see we obviously were down at the 1 on the goal line, but he made a heck of a throw to when we got backed up after the false start. Went down the next one, got stopped in the 4th and 1. Obviously had the 2 plays before halftime, and then drove us down in the first series of the second half. Drove us down in the second series, and called double go. They brought a corner blitz on us, and had a through route to our tight end, and really made a quick split-second decision. Was the right decision. Missed it by an inch or two, but I thought he operated the offense really, really well. He checked the ball down where it needed to go to, and I thought we got some big chunks off of that based on what the defense was presenting us.
Mike, we've talked to you a lot about this is your first time as an offensive coordinator. This is your first time calling plays. This is kind of your first time in this situation with a first-time quarterback and all that stuff. I was wondering if this has kind of been this experience for you a little bit harder than what you expected going in, like if there were some more challenges or if kind of there have been a little bit more speed bumps than you expected.
No, this league is tremendously hard, no matter what, whether you're a receiver coach, the pass game coordinator, working with the quarterbacks, obviously offensive coordinator, knowing all the head coach. I don't like the players. Everyone's got it tough. Every week is tough. No one really cares how tough it is. They just want to see results. That's what we want to see. We're going to go about our process. It's challenging, but it's been challenging everywhere I've been. And that's what's fun about the NFL compared to any other level of ball, is it's tough. And, ultimately right now we're 1-5, and that's what that's what we are. That's what our record is. And we got to figure out how to improve.
We'll take a couple more for coach. Hey, Mike, it's Kim Jones. And like Connor said before his second to last question, I really don't want this to come off poorly. I think in person, it's easier to read someone's body language. But I'm just wondering, with the inability to score so far in the first quarter, do you at all have to go out of your comfort zone just to get some darn points on the board by any means necessary? It just seems to me, as someone who, watched yesterday, that might have given a big lift, not only to your offense, but to your defense early in that game.
Yeah, again, we're every single time we go out there in the first quarter, we're trying to put our guys in a position that they can be successful with what we're asking them to do on top of the defense that we're going against. Right now, we are not getting the execution that we need in the first quarter, and that is absolutely being detrimental to our success right now. Once we get past, and again, I thought we did have some success in this last one. We just didn't finish it. And I thought there was plenty of opportunities in the second drive that it shouldn't even have gotten to that point, but it did. And again, it goes back to how we're saying it, the messaging, the execution of what we need to get done. So to come out of our comfort zone, we're gonna run what we run. Everyone, runs basically a lot of the same stuff. You got to call it at the right time. When you call it at the right time, it looks genius. When you don't, it looks like a 1-5 football team, And again, I've been a part of this before, and I've seen it flip, and we're going to continue to build and continue to work on our process.
Like when you have a 4th and 1 play call, which now the NFL has gone to, a lot of guys are going for it on 4th and short. What's the decision making there, versus, hey, we should be able to just run up the middle and get a yard here, or versus trying to do something else, like a throw, like we saw New England throw to the tight end on their 4th down yesterday, or even a quarterback sneak. What's kind of the thought process there, between trying something different, running up the gut and trying to get a yard?
Yeah, no, I think it goes back to two things. It goes back to the defense you're going against and what they're presenting with their fronts, but it also goes back to what you've already put on tape, And I think when you play New England, like when you look at that, particularly from the end zone copy, like I know all you guys will, you'll see how wide a lot of those guys are. And you'd think that, man, we should be able to put this right up the middle for 1 yard. And, we felt like we had the right call on. Again, unfortunately didn't execute it. And I know it's kind of a broken record now. I'm sick of saying it, but ultimately that's what's going on right now, and we got to get that fixed quickly as coaches to make sure we can get the results we want.
Is it a lot like you kind of referenced it here, Mike? Is that you said you keep mentioning execution, like we're just not executing. I mean, this isn't week 2 anymore. This isn't week 3. This isn't about the first or second week of training camp. I mean, we're you guys have played your 1 and 5, but there's also the bye week mixed in there. I mean, you still aren't executing. You know what I mean? Like, how alarming is that?
Yeah, it's totally alarming. Because again, that's what our record shows right now. I mean, that we're not winning football games. We're not having the success. So again, there's no question. There's nothing that's going to say that's going to make it any better or worse right now. We're as hard on ourselves as anybody out there, and we're working to get this thing fixed. Because again, no one really cares what year you're in, but ultimately that's what's going on right now. We can say, why aren't we getting the easy ones and the explosives compared to some other teams? They will come. All right. I'm very confident they're going to come. I don't know when they're going to come, but when it gets going, I truly believe it'll be a tough offense to stop. We know how to get this thing done. We're just not getting it done right now. And we got to continue to work to get that done.